I'm not the kind of person who believes in ghosts. Never have been. I'm an engineer. I work with numbers, schematics, things you can touch and measure. So what happened to me last fall on the train from Chicago to Milwaukee, I still can't explain it. And the longer I try, the worse it gets. It was around 11 at night. I was on the last run, worn out after a conference, bag digging into my shoulder, head buzzing from too much coffee and not enough sleep. The car was nearly empty. A couple of students with headphones at the far end, a middle-aged woman with a book, someone else asleep under a jacket. The usual picture for a late Monday. I took a window seat, leaned against the glass, and almost drifted off. Outside, the lights of the suburbs flickered past, dense at first, then sparser, until there was nothing left but darkness and the occasional yellow smear of a highway lamp. I closed my eyes. Exhaustion won. I woke up to silence, not a sound, silence itself. The train was still moving, but differently, slower, and outside there was nothing. No lights, no tree line, no shapes at all, just darkness, dense as cotton. I checked my phone. No signal. The time read 11:47. By the schedule, we should have been pulling into Milwaukee by now. Then the train began to brake. I sat up and looked around. The students were still in their headphones. The woman with the book was asleep. The man in the dark overcoat sat perfectly still. The train stopped. I pressed my face to the glass and tried to make out anything at all. There was a platform, small, concrete, paint peeling from the columns. One light, flickering, fell across a rusted sign, but I couldn't read the name. The letters were too old, too worn away. The doors opened. And the man stood up. He rose slowly, the way someone moves when their joints ache, or when they're doing something for the first time and aren't sure of each motion. He picked up a bag from the empty seat beside him, leather, brown, with brass clasps. I hadn't noticed him put it there. He walked toward the doors, and as he passed me, I saw his face. I wouldn't call it frightening. There was no blood, no hollow sockets, nothing like that, just the face of an older man. But it was wrong, like a photograph printed with an error. All the features were present, but something in the proportions, the distance between his eyes, the line of his mouth, everything was just slightly off. Enough that some part of my brain started screaming, "That is not right." He looked at me, not a glance, a long look. 3 or 4 seconds that felt like minutes, and then he smiled. Slowly, the way someone smiles when they're trying to remember how it's done. Then he stepped onto the platform. The doors closed. The train moved. I couldn't pull my eyes from the window. The lamp on the platform flickered once more and went dark. In the last moment before we slid back into the black, I saw his silhouette, standing in the middle of the platform, watching the train go, just standing there, bag in hand. I turned toward the students. One of them was scrolling through his phone. I wanted to ask, "Did you see that? Did you see that stop?" But I couldn't. My throat had stopped working. The train arrived in Milwaukee at 11:59. On time, everything normal. For the next few days, I convinced myself I dozed off and dreamed it. Stress, the conference, too much coffee, but I remembered everything too clearly. The bag, the coat, that smile. On the 4th day, I started searching. The route I was on, in the stretch between Glenview and Milwaukee, passes several old rail lines. Most of them have been out of service since the 70s. I found a forum for railroad enthusiasts. People who photograph abandoned stations, collect old timetables, know the history of every stretch of track. One user, going by Rail Archive 1952, had written about a small station called Corner Hollow. According to him, it was closed in 1961 after a derailment nearby. 11 people died, among them a conductor and 5 passengers traveling on a connecting night run. The tracks were technically still intact, but unused, officially. I messaged him, asked if he had photographs of the station. He sent 3, black and white, grainy, a small concrete platform, peeling columns, a single lamp on a metal post. In the last photograph, a man was standing on the platform, dark overcoat, wide-brimmed hat, leather bag in his hand. Rail Archive 1952 had written beneath it, "No idea who this is. Photo was taken in 1987. The platform had been abandoned for 26 years by then." I closed my laptop and sat in the dark for a long time. I don't know what it was. I don't know how the train ended up on those tracks, and I don't know what that man was doing at a closed station in 1987 or last fall. I don't know where he was going with that bag or why he smiled at me specifically, but I haven't taken a train after 10 o'clock at night since then. And if a train you're riding ever starts to slow where there shouldn't be a stop and the doors open onto a dark platform, don't look at whoever gets off. Just don't look.